A kingdom stood at its peak, but its future was uncertain. David, the king who had conquered enemies, who had established Jerusalem, who had been chosen, was now old. His strength was fading, his body weakened, and the question remained, who would sit on the throne? Adonijah, the son of David, exalted himself. I will be king. And he prepared chariots, horsemen, 50 men to run before him, and he gathered support. Joab, the commander of the army, Abiathar, the priest, men of influence, men of power, and they followed him. And he made a feast, and invited the king's sons, and the leaders of Judah. But he did not invite Solomon, nor Nathan the prophet, nor Benaiah, nor the mighty men, because this was not succession, it was ambition. And the king did not yet know. But Nathan saw, and he went to Bathsheba, the mother of Solomon, and said, Hast thou not heard that Adonijah reigneth? Go in unto King David, and remind him of his word. And Bathsheba went into the presence of the king, and she spoke, My lord, didst thou not swear that Solomon shall reign after thee? Why then doth Adonijah reign? And as she spoke, Nathan entered and confirmed the matter, and the king understood, and David rose, not in strength, but in authority. And he commanded, Take with you the servants of your lord, and cause Solomon my son to ride upon mine own mule. Bring him down to Gihon, and there anoint him king. And it was done. Zadok the priest, Nathan the prophet, they anointed Solomon, and the trumpet sounded. And the people said, God save King Solomon. And the city rang again, with a different voice. And Adonijah heard it, in the middle of his feast, and fear came upon them, because what was done in secret was now overturned in the open. And they rose, and went every man his way. And Adonijah fled, and took hold of the horns of the altar, seeking mercy. And Solomon said, If he will show himself a worthy man, there shall not an hair of him fall to the earth. And he was spared, for now. And David approached his end. And he spoke to Solomon, not of victories, not of battles, but of responsibility. Keep the charge of the Lord thy God. Walk in his ways. Keep his statutes, that thou mayest prosper. And he warned him of unfinished matters, of Joab, of Shimei, of those whose actions still carried weight. And then David died, and was buried in the city of David. And Solomon sat upon the throne, and his kingdom was established greatly. But the beginning of his reign was not without action. Adonijah came again, not with open rebellion, but with a request. He asked for Abishag, the young woman who had served David. But Solomon understood that this was not a request, but a claim, a step toward the throne. And he answered, Ask for him the kingdom also. And Adonijah was put to death, and Abiathar the priest was removed, and Joab fled to the altar. But judgment came, and Shimei was given a command to remain, to not cross the boundary. And for a time he obeyed. But when he crossed, his life ended, and the kingdom was established. not by chance, but by decision. And Solomon now ruled, and the weight of it was before him. He went to Gibeon to offer sacrifice, and in the night the Lord appeared to him in a dream and said, "Ask what I shall give thee." And Solomon answered, "I am but a little child. I know not how to go out or come in. Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge thy people." And this pleased the Lord, because he had not asked for riches or long life or the life of his enemies, but for wisdom. And God said, "Lo, I have given thee a wise and an understanding heart, and I have also given thee that which thou hast not asked, riches and honor, so that there shall not be any among the kings like unto thee." And Solomon awoke, and the wisdom given was soon revealed. 2 women came before him, both claiming the same child, both speaking, both insisting, and there was no witness, no proof. And Solomon said, "Bring me a sword, divide the living child in 2, and give half to one and half to the other." And one woman said, "Let it be neither mine nor thine." But the other cried out, "O my Lord, give her the living child, and in no wise slay it." And Solomon knew, and he said, "She is the mother." And all Israel heard, and they feared the king, because they saw that the wisdom of God was in him. And Solomon's kingdom grew. Peace surrounded him. Nations came, and his rule extended, and he began to build the house of the Lord, a temple, not of war, but of worship. And he gathered materials, cedars from Lebanon, gold, stone, and laborers, and the work began, and the temple rose, according to all that was commanded. And when it was finished, it stood, a place for the name of the Lord. And Solomon brought the ark into the house, and when the priests came out, a cloud filled the temple, so that they could not stand to minister, because the glory of the Lord filled the house. And Solomon stood and prayed, not briefly, but fully. For will God indeed dwell on the earth? Behold, the heaven and heaven of heavens cannot contain thee. How much less this house that I have builded? Yet he asked that God would hear, that he would forgive, that he would remember his people. And fire came down and consumed the offering, and the glory of the Lord filled the house. And all Israel saw it, and they bowed and worshipped. And Solomon's name spread across kingdoms, across nations. The queen of Sheba came to test him with hard questions, and he answered all. And she said, "The half was not told me." And the king's fame grew, his wisdom, his wealth, his glory. Silver was as stones in Jerusalem, gold flowed, peace remained. And the kingdom stood at its height, because a king had asked for wisdom and had been given more. And for a time, everything was as it should be, and the promise seemed complete.